Let's put my headphones on. We're live, but we're just going to wait for a couple minutes, see if people show up, see what's going on. We'll give people some time to roll in. I'm going to send a tweet out. Crypto news. All right, that's started. How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome. We're just going to give it a couple more minutes until we get started talking about this. Today's topic is basically going to be talking about PayPal's new terms of service that supposedly wasn't supposed to go out, but honestly, that is the biggest load of crap. I think they were put against a wall, and because of the backlash that they received, that is why they've rolled back these changes. I think they had every intention of making these changes to their terms of service, but supposedly, in one article that I read, they've reversed course, but honestly, this is just appalling. Absolutely appalling that they can even do something like this. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in if you've never done so. And if you're a returning guest, thank you. Your views are very much appreciated. I love all of you that leave comments and likes on my videos on YouTube. I really do appreciate every single one of you, so cheers to you. Thank you. And if you're currently in the Cerebral Discord, thanks for tuning into this. This means a lot to me, what we're building at Cerebral Entertainment. So if you're involved with that, if you're in the community, or you hold any of our NFTs currently, just know that you're amazing. We appreciate each and every one of you as well. I guess let's just go ahead and start talking about it. We've waited long enough, probably. So, supposedly, there is a new PayPal policy that lets the firm fine users $2,500 for spreading misinformation. The terms of service condemned and called an abomination by people on social media. Alan, what's going on, man? Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in, man. So basically this new policy that was to go into effect on November 3rd, basically allows PayPal to charge people a fee of $2,500, up to $2,500, for anything that they deem as misinformation. So let's say you have a business or you're a content creator like myself, and you say something that PayPal disagrees with, they're allowed to charge you up to $2,500 for that. Or at least that's what this rollout of this update to their terms of service would be. But people were going crazy online about this, telling everybody to close their accounts. Their new policy allows them to deduct $2,500 from your account for misinformation. Another tweet said, a new PayPal policy update appears to authorize the company to pull up to $2,500 from the accounts of users who spread misinformation. That's theft, surely. And it is. There's no way that they can just say, you know what? You said something that we disagree with. We're going to deem it misinformation and charge you $2,500 for it. I mean, who determines what misinformation is? Because there was a lot of quote unquote misinformation at the beginning of this pandemic. And it turns out a lot of those misinformation articles were actually true. I mean, we learned quite a bit of information throughout the span of this entire pandemic, and it's so unfortunate, the people that got fired, the people that lost their jobs, their homes, their businesses for quote unquote spreading misinformation. And now PayPal is basically saying that they are the sponsors of approving correct information. That is such a slippery slope whenever you go to think about it. It's like, how in the world could, okay, let's just say your average person out there that is just trying to make ends meet is just a user of PayPal, but they supposedly on their Twitter account say something that PayPal disagrees with, would that be considered misinformation and would they be charged $2,500 to their account for that? Like, where does it end? Does it end with just businesses or is it everyday users as well? The policy is not very precise about what is and isn't misinformation and who gets charged for these types of things. And this is exactly why I think that crypto is necessary to protect us from bullshit like this. Greedy businesses, banks, and politicians are out in force right now trying to censor you, trying to take your money, and trying to tell you how to live your life. And that is not what this country was founded on. That's not what the principles of money are consisted of. Your money is supposed to be your choice. How you spend it, what you use it on, whether you save it or not, that is what money is supposed to be. It's a currency for exchange of goods and services. That is what money is. And to have an entity like PayPal that is so massive that completes millions of transactions every single year, it just blows my mind that anybody thought that this was okay to even pass into the new terms of service. And honestly, I think that this probably got leaked on purpose early to see how people would respond to it. And when they saw that there was an outrage, they decided to reverse course and say, oh, that was never meant to be released. It looks like I'm experiencing some lag right now on my internet. I don't have the best internet out here, and so if you're experiencing any lag, I apologize about that, guys. I, you know, we're working on our internet here at our new place, but it's going to take me some time to get back to the capabilities that I had at my old place. Anyway, what I wanted to discuss here tonight was all of these overreaching companies, corporations, banks, politicians that are out here trying to tell you what to do with your money and strip you of your money every chance they can get. This is important, and this is exactly why we need to be spreading the right information to the right people about why cryptocurrencies are so important. Yes, is there the chance to lose all of your money in scams and, sending your money to the wrong address? Absolutely. But when you really break it down, let's say you held all of your money in cash and then one day, wherever you were holding that sum of cash, like a lot of people used to, you accidentally misplaced that. It's the same exact thing as in crypto. You have to be vigilant, you have to be secure with your funds if you want to be safe online with cryptocurrencies and digital assets. That's the way these work, just like any other asset out there. It doesn't make sense to me, people that make the argument that, oh, you can lose your funds in an instant. Sure, you could lose your funds in an instant if you owned US dollars as well, if you were to invest it into a Ponzi scheme on the open market. There are all sorts of ways that you can lose money, but cryptocurrencies require you to keep those funds secure. That's why hardware wallets are so important to invest in if you're going to be trading cryptocurrencies or holding cryptocurrencies. If you don't have a hardware wallet, go to the link in the description below. I have a link to Ledger hardware wallets. That's what I personally use. And honestly, it's so vital to own one of those. It's like It's like, use my analogy of holding all of your money in cash. You wouldn't just hold that cash just anywhere. You would put that in a safe somewhere in your house or something along those lines. That way, if your house burned down, your cash wouldn't burn with it. You would put it somewhere safe and secure. And just as well, you should be holding your cryptocurrency at the same regard. You should be holding it on a hardware wallet somewhere safe and secure. With that being said, I want to go back to the whole PayPal thing because I read another article saying PayPal has backtracked on a published policy that would have fined users $2,500 for spreading misinformation, claiming the update had gone out in error. An AUP notice recently went out in error that included incorrect information. PayPal is not fining people for misinformation, and this language was never intended to be inserted in our policy. Our teams are working to correct our policy pages. We're sorry for the confusion this has caused, a spokesperson told National Review in a written statement. That's funny. If it was never intended to go out, then why was it in their policy pages to begin with? I honestly believe that it was intended to go out, but they leaked this information early in order to see how people would respond. I think they were hoping that the woke community would stand behind them on this policy and say, "Yeah, yippee, yippee, misinformation. Yeah, let's get those people that are spreading misinformation." But instead, it had the opposite effect. The majority of people that probably use their platform were pissed by this. There are a lot of really wealthy people out there that are not in line with the woke community. And so this probably just pissed them off enough to tweet about it, to talk about it on other social media platforms, and caused PayPal to reverse course on this. But the fact that they're even thinking about this as a company just blows my mind. There are other articles too that I've read that show a few examples of some of these clauses being exercised in the past, actually. In fact, there was a business in Europe that had 15,000 euros seized from their account, and PayPal refused to give it back because they said that they broke their terms of service, but didn't really give an explanation as to what terms of service they broke. And there are definitely articles upon articles like this out there that are talking about these TOSs that are being broken by your average users and companies out there, and it just goes to show the amount of power that they have. Like, how can they just take somebody's hard-earned money like that without an explanation and not give it back? How is that okay? How is that acceptable? But because they put it in their fine print on the TOS, they're allowed to do so. I think it's coming to a boiling point, though, where people are saying enough is enough. We're not going to deal with this. And because of that, we saw all of these outraged people. In fact, there was a politician even from Canada that tweeted out saying, "I will delete my PayPal account and tell everybody else of my constituents to do so as well. And millions of people are going to boycott if you go through with this new terms of service." And rightfully so. Like, who would be willing to say, "Yeah, I'll use a platform where if I say something on one of my social media accounts that this company disagrees with, they can just charge me $2,500 and take it directly from my bank account"? Who would agree to something like that? I don't know any person in their right mind that would sign that terms of service and say, "Yeah, I'm good with that." Hell no. That's just stupid. Here's a post that I found that was really damning on Y Combinator. It said, so it's clear from the text that it needs to be understood in the context of the PayPal user agreement. I tracked that down assuming that it would limit PayPal's ability to charge you to their actual damages, but no. In fact, the text is quite shocking. If you are a seller and receive funds for transactions that violate the acceptable use policy, then in addition to being subject to the above actions, you will be liable to PayPal for the amount of PayPal's damages caused by your violation of the acceptable use policy. You acknowledge and agree that $2,500 US per violation of the acceptable use policy is presently a reasonable minimum estimate of PayPal's damages, including but not limited to internal administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor and track violations. Why is it even in your wheelhouse to monitor what people say outside of your site? Why are you paying people to monitor and track us as users in the first place? If you're charging people $2,500 because you have to pay somebody to track your users, that is definitely an invasion of privacy. Internal administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor and track violations, damage to PayPal's brand and reputation, and penalties imposed upon PayPal by its business partners resulting from a user's violation, considering all currently existing circumstances, including the relationship of the sum to the range of harm to PayPal that reasonably could be anticipated because, due to the nature of the violations of the acceptable use policy, actual damages would be impractical or extremely difficult to calculate. PayPal may deduct such damages directly from any existing balance in any PayPal account you control. Wow. They can just take it from your account willy-nilly. Wow. As I read this, not a lawyer, PayPal claims that any violation of their acceptable use policy will result in an automatic charge of $2,500 because that represents the minimum estimate of the damage your violation causes them, on top of being completely unacceptable policy. The idea that any violation costs them at least $2,500 is a complete effing blank. I'm not going to say that, if you'll pardon my explicitness. There is absolutely no way I would ever do business with PayPal as a seller under any circumstances, even if it was my customer's preferred method. And this is the sentiment that they were getting. It's just unbelievable that they think that this is okay. I'm interested to know what you all think out there, though, about this new policy, it being retracted. What do you think? Do you think that they meant to post this on November 3rd, or do you think that they knew better? Do you think maybe they posted it early on purpose to gauge their audience, see what they thought, and then once they saw that people were pissed, they decided to go against it? What do you guys think out there? Let me know in the comments section. I really do want to know. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you all for tuning in that did tune into the live stream. And thank you all for watching out there that are going to watch this after the live stream. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. That's going to wrap this one up though, guys. Thanks so much. Crypto Clay out.